Hello and welcome, bookworms. Welcome to this week's episode of The Contented Narrative. We're looking at Ink and Bone by Rachel Caine. Now, Rachel Caine, I have done two other series by her, which are sort of like up there. It's got the Morganville Vampire series, which again, I really hope you guys enjoyed because it was just such a good book series. I constantly go back. And then we had the Stillhouse Lake series as well that I reviewed. And this is Ink and Bone. Okay, and this is the library series. And honestly, this woman, I was really gutted to learn the other year that she actually passed away a couple of years ago, and for some reason it just never I never realised. And it's only because I was looking and being like, oh, when's the next one? Like, what's the next series, kind of thing. And I realised she was no longer with us, and I was absolutely gutted because I met her at Waterstones, and she was an absolutely fantastic author, lovely human being to chat to. And genuine salt of the earth, like just had the time and the patience for everybody. But what I love the most is I've read 3 different complete series by her, and one I've started, but it's a really hard series to get. It's like a weather sprite imp thing, and every single book series is like a completely different genre. And this is why I love when, like, I go into her books and I'm like, I don't know what to expect, because the Stillhouse Lake series is very full on. But the Morganville Vampire series is quite sort of like a, it's like a young adult kind of storyline, and I love it. So Ink and Bone is the library series, and essentially it's set in this sort of like alternate timeline, as it were. So where it's sort of set where the library controls what you read. Because they didn't want knowledge to be destroyed or something like that. I'm sure it started off with good intentions, as most things do. But essentially you've got the library, you've got the High Garda, but then because of the fact that nobody is allowed original copies of books, they're not allowed the paper copies of books, they're not allowed it, you have the book smugglers. And Jess, our main character, is part of a family of book smugglers based in London. And then the dad decides to put him forward for the library entrance exam to become part of the library, to kind of have a guy on the inside so that he can start smuggling rarer books. I mean, he smuggles quite rare books anyway. And so, Jess, it follows Jess Brightwell as he goes into this library recruitment, and they have a lot of trials, and you've got like automatons in it with like the sphinxes and everything like that if they decide that you're a threat, they'll just kill you. You've also got the burners as well, who feel like, all knowledge should be available to everybody. They're very anti-library, so they use what's known as Greek fire. And if that smashes on you, that's it. You're dead, essentially. And so it follows him, and as he makes friends with people, and he makes friends with the other people in his class, as it were. And they're trying to get through to the final stage where they'll then be accepted into the library role. And the trials and tribulations that they that they have in the first book, I mean, there's a scene where they go to a country that's being overrun. So there's also a war between the Welsh and the English, because there's wars between everyone. But they're going to, I think it's Oxford, and they get and the English are getting overwhelmed by the Welsh who have come, and so the librarians go in to retrieve the books from the Library of Oxford to make sure that they're made safe, and it does not go to plan, shall we say. It's a bit of a dicey situation, but it is a book series, so I will warn you that it doesn't conclude in the first one. It does not. But you do really get a feel for the characters, and you do really sit there and you go, I need to know more. I need to know what's going on. I need to know that they're okay. I need to know that this is happening, And I love this book series. I come back to it every now and then. I've recently started rereading it, which is why it is coming on the channel now. But again, Rachel Caine has hit it out of the park, because you feel for every single character in this. You genuinely do. And she builds them in a way, again, she doesn't world build and character build in like these huge ways. She builds it in such a way that you can get the background of a character within a page, and you are in love with that character, and you want to know where they're going, and you want to know what's happening. And it honestly, it leaves you with a hunger for wanting more. And it has, so there's five in the book series, and it does conclude at the end of the book series, and I probably will, review, but this one is sort of like a setting up when they first come to the library, what their trials are, what the tribulations are, and whether or not they'll pass. So please give this a go. If you love Rachel Caine, give any of her books a go, give any of her series a go, and let me know if there's one that I'm like missing that you think, oh, do you know what? She'll absolutely love this one. Leave it below in the comments, because again, she's a fantastic author, and I feel like she was overlooked a bit, because I feel like sometimes when you hear vampire series, you immediately think of Twilight. But honestly, when I think vampire series, I think Morganville. Do you know what I mean? When you think like serial killer, there's so many different serial killer books out there, but I think Stillhouse Lake. It's that kind of thing where it's like, I love her writing, I really do, and I think she's very good in any genre. So please, please, please give it a go. Leave it below in the comments, let me know what you think of it, if you've read any of her other book series, if there's anything else that you like. But thank you so much for your continued support, and remember to always keep it contento.